Christopher R. Dowswell was perhaps best known as aide-de-camp, his preferred title, to the late Dr. Norman E. Borlaug for 31 years. Full of energy in his pursuit of excellence, Chris was a warm, caring, loyal, humble, and most generous man. As age slowly crept up on Dr. Borlaug, Chris helped articulate the vital messages for his agricultural audiences and took great pride in Dr. Borlaug's historic accomplishments.
It was a poorly kept secret that many of Dr. Borlaug's speeches were written after he had spoken, and never by Dr. Borlaug, always by Chris. Dr. Borlaug did not like to write. He believed scientists should produce more useful varieties of wheat and less paper, but the two men brought out the best in each other as far as what they were most passionate about, which was the fight against hunger and poverty.
And that together they had a synergy, both in terms of intellectual compatibility and energy, but also in terms of commitment. I saw them very much as partners, addressing some of the most pressing issues facing the poorest of people in developing countries.
And I think he represented something all of us would like to be, but we are not. We do not have the courage to be. He would say things we would like to say, but we fear to say. But Chris would say it. And you knew what he was saying was true. You knew he was not doing this in self-interest. He was doing this for the greater humanity and for the most vulnerable in this world.
An agricultural economist by training, Chris mainly worked in agriculture communications and extension at the International Maize and Wheat Improvement Center, or CIMMYT. He established the center's first agricultural communications unit in the 1980s. In 1991, Chris started working for the Sasakawa Africa Association, just 5 years after Ryoichi Sasakawa, President Jimmy Carter, and Norman Borlaug founded SAA and started the Sasakawa Global 2000 program in Africa.
Brilliant, passionate, committed. Those would be the three words I would use. An incredibly fertile mind that was constantly working, that absorbed thoughts and ideas like a sponge, processed them, and came back with, something better. That was something that Chris did just by being alive.
It is impossible in this short film to do justice to the incredible mark Chris has made on worldwide agriculture, and especially African agriculture in his lifetime. Perhaps most importantly, he put into action Norman Borlaug's famous words, "Take it to the farmer," and made it his lifetime mission to help bring the best-known technology and ideas to millions of smallholder farmers in Africa and throughout the world.
So after Chris's passing, we've had a lot of communication with people that are interested in perpetuating his legacy. And as a family, we want to do that as well, and we are going to set up a scholarship fund in his name to honor his work in agriculture.
Once you saw Chris, once your eyes actually focused on Chris, if you saw him again, you'll remember him because of his persona. My daughter used to call him Father Christmas. If you saw him, you knew him. He probably knew that himself, so he didn't want to take other people's position. Just said, that's not my position. It's not for me to be upfront. What I do, what I achieve in terms of action is more important than me being seen.
Chris Dowswell died at his home in San Miguel de Allende, Mexico, on November 19, 2011.